Hey guys, what's up? It's Looney TNT. So today we're going to go over the 7.1 Demon Hunter guide. Things haven't really changed since the last guide, but just a reminder to some people what you could be doing, because there are two different builds that you can actually be going right now. So I'm going to go ahead and go over that and just give you some basics. So let's go ahead and talk about the build that I'm running with right now. The build that I'm running with right now is pretty much the Demon Blades build. So I have my Bloodlet, I have Fell Mastery and Momentum, my Glaives. You can go two different ways with this, with Chaos Blade or Fell Barrage. It's kind of if you're doing like a AoE Clee fight, Fell Barrage is going to be very dominant. If you're going to be doing single target, like, anything with no ads, you're just trying to burn one boss, Chaos Blades is going to do very well. But Fell Barrage is going to be competitive too. So, those two can be swapped out depending on, what you like. So with this build, though, as we're going Demon Blades, my stat priority is going to be crit, haste, versatility, and mastery. So we're going to be going crit haste. Why we're going haste on this build is because we're going Demon Blades. Demon Blades is a passive ability which is going to gain us fury. With the more haste we have, the more fury we build. So that's what you're going to be using on that. Now, you can also go prepared. If you go prepared, you're going to be switching your stat priority. You're going to be going crit, versatility, haste, mastery. So those are the only two differences if you're using Demon Blades or if you're using prepared. Now, that said, let's go ahead and go over some of the rotation of the Demon Hunter. The Demon Hunter's rotation is fairly simple. The hardest part is being able to keep your momentum buff, which gives you 20% extra damage for 4 seconds. So that is very important. So what you're going to be wanting to do is you're going to be wanting to Fell Rush at the target and gaining your 20%, and you're going to Throw Glaive. Now, remember, this Throw Glaive we're talented in, so we have double. We also have Bloodlet, so what that does is it actually gives us a dot of the damage it does in X amount of seconds. Now, if you do 2 in a row, that dot will stack, so you're not going to be losing anything. So you can just use these on cooldown every single time and not have to space it out. So there's a dot. You could just, spam it and get it out there when you feel comfortable. But make sure that you guys are using it when you have that 20% buff. That's a really big deal there. Also, your Fury Dumper is going to be Cast Strikes. If you're on single target, don't worry about I-Beam. I-Beam doesn't matter. Even if you have the golden trait for it on single target, it really doesn't do much. It's a cool ability. If you have multiple targets, amazing. But if it's on single target, your Chaos Strike is going to be way, way more beneficial than an I-Beam, because Chaos Strikes does a lot of damage. It's less fury, and it also gives you a chance to refund 20 fury on a critical strike. So super, super great there. Fury of the Illidari. That is one of those spells that you can kind of time it if ads are going to be coming, or if no ads are going to be coming, just use it on cooldown. It's a 1-minute cooldown. It's pretty fast to come back up. So Demon Form. Demon Form is one of those abilities that do a couple things, and if you're doing anything else, it's not going to be beneficial, right? If I'm throwing glaives in Demon Form, it's not buffing the damage of throw glaives. So if I can get all of my throw glaives out before I do Demon Form, which would be cool, but you're going to be gaining, I think it's 25% haste. So when you gain that haste, your Demon Blade or your throw glaive is going to come up faster. So obviously you're going to have to use it, but just make sure you're trying to get in as many Chaos Strikes as possible. Okay, so just a little opener for you guys. Yes, I am on a smaller level dummy, so my numbers are going to be bigger. I just like to I like Thunder Bluff, okay? But these numbers, all numbers are different depending on gear. Your gear's different than mine, so you might be doing more, you might be doing less. Just remember, this is just a dummy. This is a training dummy where I'm not worried about numbers, I'm just worried about rotation. So, let's talk. I'm spec'd into Fel Barrage right now, so let's do the opener with Fel Barrage. So what I'll do is I'll Fel Rush, and I'm going to go a little bit slower. I'm going to Fel Rush. I'm going to go here. I'm going to drop Fear of the Illidari. I'm going to jump back, and I'm going to jump back in, and then I'm going to Fel Rush, and I'm going to spam Chaos Strikes and rinse and repeat. Okay, so that's pretty much what you're going to do as an opener. It was kind of fast, and I probably stumbled on my words a little bit, but let's go ahead and talk about what I just did. What I did was I Fel Rushed in. I have the 20% buff, so I blew both of my Throwglaves. I then dropped Fury of the Illidari, and I jumped back, right? Because I can get all that done usually within the 4-second mark. And then when I jump back with Fury of the Illidari, I pop my Fel Barrage. My Fel Barrage is now on another 20% extra damage, and I can jump back in. And then I jump back in with Demon Form, and I Fel Rush again to get that 20% for 4 seconds and just spam that Chaos Strike. Now remember, Blur is a very great ability when using for defense, but it's also great for using for offense. Because when you guys are in that first burst situation, what Blur does is when you have your traits into it, which you should because that's the first golden trait you're going towards, it actually refreshes your Fel Rushes. So when I'm in Demon Form and I'm doing my deal and I get my, let's go ahead and enter that. Let's go ahead and do a dungeon to give you guys a little bit of, show you guys a little bit what I do in different situations. When I blow all my 20% Fel Rushes, I can pop Blur, and I get 2 more, so I can continue to go, and it works out really, really well. And, you know, that's pretty much the Demon Hunter. It's a little interesting to get into the groove of things, but that's pretty much what it is, right? It's just moving around, darting around, making sure Throwglaive is used on cooldown at all times. It's great for AoE also, but, you know, I'm using it on cooldown at all times. Fury of the Illidari on cooldown at all times, unless there's some mobs that are coming out. Chaos Strike is going to be my Fury Dumper. Fel Barrage, when it has 5, I make sure to get my momentum buff, use it. Great for ads. You know, the one thing about Fel Barrage, though, that I will end the video on, is when I'm here, let's say there's a million mobs over here, and I'm like, boom, here, and they all move. For some reason, right? All these mobs are over here. But the mob you're conned on is still over here. Well, what's going to happen is when you Fel Barrage, where do they go? They go back to the original target. So if there's nothing around that original target, your Fel Barrage will not hit everything. Okay, so that's just the way it is on that. Your Blade Dance ability. Your Blade Dance ability is great for AoE situations. Single target, no. Your Chaos Nova is a really great cooldown, especially if you have the Legendary Ring like I do, which is kind of, whatever. But this also does damage, and it stuns everybody. So in dungeons and things, this is really, really good. Darkness, our defensive cooldown, is kind of bogus. It's like, you know, if you want to gamble, you can. It has a 20% chance to avoid all damage, but on Ursoc, this is amazing because when your group is stacked up, there are going to be players that do not take any damage. So you can save the healers a lot of work because, you know, if 3 people don't take any damage on that when the bear rushes, you're helping out the raid tremendously, you know, and you know, if you can get any more than that, you know, cool, but it is what it is. All right, guys. that's about it. I'm going to do this this Violet hold real quick. There's really nothing else about Demon Hunter, you know. There's some stat switches or some stuff like that, but remember, if you're going Demon Blades build, you're going to want crit haste. If you're going to want prepared build, you're going to want crit versatility. I don't really use too many add-ons. The add-on that I do use for gear, though, because it is a little confusing sometimes with secondary stats, which it's kind of weird. I use right here. This is the add-on I use, and what it does is it will actually give you like a plus arrow and give you a % on the better for your stat, right, or the better for the gear. Now, like this chest right here, I don't know if it's a better, in my opinion, because I'm going Demon Blade, so it's an add-on that I'm still working with, but overall it's a pretty just straightforward, this is what it is kind of add-on. Make sure, one other thing, make sure that you guys are all getting your artifact power. If you guys are not grinding out your artifact power, you are damaging your class, right? You are not doing what you should be doing. Currently, I'm not even sure what trade I'm at, but my next artifact boost is at 315,000. What I'm trying to do, I have 6 more traits before I max out, because once you guys hit your 3rd golden trait, a 4th golden trait will appear. Now, what that does is it gives you a 4th golden trait that gives you 5% extra damage. That is huge, and don't pay attention too much on what I'm doing on screen because I'm talking. That is huge, and the reason it is huge is because 5% extra damage, and the rumor is that can be used over and over and over. So that will be your last trait. So what it's going to be is every time you get a new trait, you put it into 5% extra damage. So you can be at 100% extra damage, and it's going to be absolutely insane. So that's going to be something you're going to want to be doing. So make sure you guys are doing that golden trait, right? Make sure you guys are getting as much artifact power as you can right now, so you guys can get closer and closer to that 4th golden, because that is 5% extra damage. So it's pretty huge. All right, guys, that's about it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and if you have any advice, leave it in the comments. Remember, I make videos for you guys, and I enjoy making the content. I enjoy playing World of Warcraft, and I enjoy getting better. So if there's something that you guys see that you're like, hey man, you can be doing this a little bit better, I want to know. I'd love to get better at my class. I'd love to do more damage. I think we all would. So you know, leave it in the comments and give me some advice. Share some advice to the community, and let's just help out everybody. All right, guys. And like always, like, favorite, share, subscribe, do what you guys gotta do, and I'll talk to you guys soon.